Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the State Department. Everyone who's outside, come on in. We got a lot of people here. This is a big event. We can't be more thrilled than we are tonight. For those of you who don't know me, I am Chris Landau, Deputy Secretary of State. It is an enormous honor for us here at the State Department to welcome this distinguished gathering to our building, to this beautiful Benjamin Franklin room, honoring our nation's first diplomat, even before we were a nation, Benjamin Franklin, who looks over us from down there. And we are thrilled tonight to have the opportunity to welcome our friends from the Central Asian republics, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, the Kyrgyz Republic, and Uzbekistan. Great friends and partners of the United States. One of the real joys of working for President Trump and this administration is that he recognizes that foreign policy isn't just about the same relationships that we have been developing for the last 80 or 100 years. It's a very big world, and there are many important parts of the world that have not had the attention that they deserve. And one of those areas are these Central Asian republics, formerly part of the Soviet Union, and now, independent for 35 years. The United States, I think it is high time that we are really engaging more actively. President Trump has asked us to engage more actively. He invited the 5 presidents here. Special Envoy Gore, who will be speaking in a moment, and I just came back from a trip to the region. Unfortunately, we didn't hit all 5 of the countries, but we hit 2 of them, and the opportunities are amazing. Business opportunities, many ways to partner there. So I just think this is a very exciting time between the United States and these Central Asian republics, and we are so honored and delighted that these 5 countries have sent their presidents here tonight. Their foreign ministers and representatives are with us, and we are deeply honored, gentlemen, that all of you are here. Thank you so much for coming. It is my job tonight not only to welcome all of you to this building, but also to introduce one of our most distinguished friends here in Washington, Senator Jim Risch, who's the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. I can say that with assurance that I would not be here, and as well as my colleagues, if it were not for Senator Risch, who, as chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, is in charge of confirming us. And thank you, Senator, for getting that done for me and for others. President Trump's foreign policy agenda is really able to flourish because of your efforts on the Hill. So thank you very much, Senator, for everything that you've done. The Senator is really one of the most distinguished sons of the great state of Idaho. He has a long career in public service, starting in the state legislature, then as, I think even before that, as a prosecuting attorney, a state legislature, governor of the state of Idaho, and now a senator, and again, the lead senator on foreign relations. It is such a pleasure for us here in the State Department to work every day with Senator Jim Risch. So, Senator Risch, the floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that very generous introduction, and thank you to Secretary Rubio for having us here today. And of course, thank you to the officials from Central Asia, all 5 of you, for being here today. This is truly a unique occasion. On behalf of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, it's an honor to join you here for this historic, truly historic visit. The world leaders gathered here today come from a difficult neighborhood. We understand. You are great nations caught between powerful countries. Today is an opportunity to deepen our cooperation and ensure that these countries can decide their own destinies. As a volatile Russia and an increasingly aggressive China pursue their own national interests around the globe at the cost of their neighbors, the United States offers Central Asian nations the real opportunity to work with a willing partner while lifting up each other's economies. In support of this effort, I have joined Senator Daines, who's with us tonight. Senator. I've joined Senator Daines and my colleagues in introducing a bill this week that paves the way to lifting outdated barriers to increased economic engagement with our C5+1 partners, and that is the repeal of the Jackson-Vanik restrictions. It is fitting that on the 10th anniversary of the C5+1 diplomatic platform, we are launching a new, exciting era of cooperation between our nations. I'm proud to work with President Trump, Senator Daines, my colleagues on the Foreign Relations Committee, and our friends in Central Asia to shape a U.S. foreign policy that pursues and a secure, prosperous future for America and our partners. And now, I'd like to introduce a longtime friend, Special Envoy Sergio Gore. Sergio and I worked together quite closely during the first months of the Trump administration as we filled the post at State that will help President Trump and Secretary Rubio execute on their vision for American foreign policy. Without the help and commitment from Sergio, we could not have delivered the record number of presidential appointments that we have, all in the face of a difficult playing field. We moved nominees through our committee at a record pace. Thank you, Sergio, for what you did. Sergio is now doing great work as he's undertaking his new role as ambassador to India, but most importantly today for you, his role as Special Envoy for South and Central Asian affairs. There's truly no one better suited to forge a strong and lasting relationship between our Central Asian friends and the United States. Sergio, thank you for all you do, and the floor is yours.
Chairman Risch is absolutely incredible, and in fact today when I got to the White House, I walked into my office and the lights weren't even on, but Chairman Risch was sitting there. And we had a good catch-up meeting, but I will say he's probably one of the hardest working chairmen that we have in the Senate, 2 committee hearings a week, and so that's why we've been able to confirm so many of our nominees. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you with such a distinguished group. It's an honor to welcome our distinguished guests, the foreign ministers of Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and to recognize the ambassador of the Kyrgyz Republic, who joins us this evening on behalf of his government. We're also pleased to welcome members of Congress, including Chairman Risch, Senator Daines, Representatives Huizinga, Self, and Miller, and so many other friends and partners who have long supported strong engagement between the United States and countries of Central Asia. Your presence tonight reflects the growing breadth of our relationship and our shared vision for a secure, sovereign, and prosperous Central Asia. It also reflects the leadership of the United States in building economic and strategic partnerships that advance our interests, reflect our values, and create opportunities for American workers and businesses. When the President appointed me to be the Special Envoy for Central Asia, one thing that he emphasized to me is that in previous administrations, this area of the world did not get the attention that it deserves. And his commitment to this region is that you have a direct line to the White House and that you will get the attention that this area very much so deserves. Just last week, Deputy Secretary Landau and I had the great privilege of visiting Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. It was a hugely successful visit. You'll hear more about it tomorrow as all 5 heads of state will be visiting the White House. Central Asian hospitality is truly unmatched. Chris and I think, will be losing weight for the next few months, the amount of food that we ate. But from the warm welcome, delicious meals, incredible history and culture, my first visit to the region as the President's Special Envoy was one to be remembered. I look forward to visiting Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and the Kyrgyz Republic in the near future. During our visit, we saw firsthand the remarkable progress our countries have made in expanding innovation, education, and business ties. We met partners eager to work with American companies that bring high standards, transparency, and real benefits for their people. We also had great discussions around America, once again being open for business, and key investment opportunities in the United States. The United States is proud to work with those who seek genuine partnerships based on mutual interests. Tomorrow at the Kennedy Center, our business conference will highlight that cooperation in action. We will see new investments and trade agreements that will create jobs and export opportunities for American firms. These are deals that benefit both sides, grounded in fairness and shared prosperity. They demonstrate what is possible when nations put their own people first while working together towards common goals. President Trump looks very much forward to meeting with the presidents of each country tomorrow to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to peace and prosperity for our 6 nations. Under his leadership, the United States has pursued a clear, principled foreign policy that defends our interests, promotes peace through strength, and builds partnerships that are based on results, not rhetoric. The C5+1 platform remains central to that vision, expanding cooperation on energy, infrastructure, and economic growth that makes America and our partners safer, stronger, and more prosperous. And now it's my absolute honor to introduce our great Secretary of State. When the President and I were filling in these positions, there's thousands of jobs across the government. And I will say there's very few people that have gotten 3, 4, 5, even sometimes 6 jobs. Rarely has a librarian been elevated to Secretary of State. However, we have an incredible rock star in Secretary Rubio. One of the president's favorite lines is that he was born for this job. And having traveled with him around the world from the Vatican to the Middle East and everywhere in between, I can attest to that. We're lucky to have him, and I think he's delivering for the American people, for the world, and for this administration. It's my honor to welcome my close friend, Marco Rubio.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome to the State Department and to our, we don't get to use these spaces very much, especially when the government's shut down, so they could open it. But it's great. It's an honor to host all of you here, and tomorrow as well. We're going to have great events, and thank you for those kind introductions. Sergio is right. The President does say, and it's a great honor to hear him say it, he says that I was born for this job. The problem is I have 3 jobs. I don't know which one he's referring to. So I think maybe he thinks I'm a good archivist. But in any event, it's an honor to be able to serve in this position in this exciting time. I want to make a couple of recognitions. First, I do want to thank Ambassador Gore and Deputy Secretary Landau for the trip they took last week. It was important. They spent a substantial amount of time, and I know they look forward to going back to the other countries they were not able to visit. I personally intend to visit in the coming year as well, and all 5. So I know it'll probably be a week-long or longer trip, so we got to work on that and make that happen together. I want to give a shout-out and a special recognition to a couple people. Jim Risch, who is still here, is the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee. But Jim and I served together throughout my 14 years and 1 month in the Senate, and we wound up, for reasons I don't fully understand, we wound up literally sitting next to each other on 3 separate committees. And the floor. So people, you know, it wasn't by alphabetical order, but we wound up getting very close and remained that way. And I know he's been very helpful in getting us here to get all these positions filled. And I've seen him, and I haven't seen him in a while. I've seen you 3 times today, morning in the White House, and then earlier today in a briefing, and now here. And one more person I want to recognize, and this is someone that's been talking to me about Central Asia now for almost 4 years or 3 years, and that's Senator Daines. Are you still here? Gary, how many times have you been to the region? And how often? But you've been more than once. I thought he was just trying to score hunting trips. That's what I thought, you know. But it ended up he's really become the leading advocate in the United States Senate for closer engagement with all 5 of your countries, with the entirety of Central Asia, and I think deserves a lot of credit for what's going to happen tomorrow and in the days and weeks to come. It's an exciting time for us as well. You know, I think one of the things that President Trump has made very clear is that he wants American foreign policy to be rooted based on the national interest of the United States. Ultimately, that's how foreign policy works. You have national interests, we have national interests. When does foreign policy work best? It works best when the national interests of 2 countries are aligned. When your national interests and our national interests are aligned, when they're not aligned, that's where you need diplomacy, you need friendships and so forth. But when they're aligned, that's where we have to pursue those partnerships and create these ties, these deep ties. And I think they're aligned in so many ways. And they don't have to be aligned on every issue, but they're aligned on important ones, including economic development. from our perspective, we are looking for opportunities for American innovation and American business and American products to expand to more markets and more places, because we think that creates stronger ties between countries. From your perspective, you are looking to take the resources, both your people and natural resources, that God has blessed your nations with, and turn them into responsible development that allow you to diversify your economies. You don't just want to be a source of energy or a source of minerals. You want to use that responsibly to build out other sectors of your economies, so that you provide long-term opportunities for your people and further develop. Our national interests are aligned, and I think tonight's reception, tomorrow's meeting, and some of the things we're going to do together in the months and weeks and to come are going to further strengthen that. So it's an honor to welcome you all here to the State Department. It'll be an honor to welcome your presidents. I know the president's excited about tomorrow's gathering as well. And I think it's an exciting opportunity and a new era in our relationship in Central Asia, which I think it's been about 10 years since there was a gathering of this kind. So it's been over a decade. So I would say that, unfortunately, over the last decade, there's been sort of a longer, it's been longer than 10 years? 10 years. Okay, I thought he was saying it was in 20 years. I go, oh my gosh, it's even worse. No, 10 years, but there's been, you know, a little bit of neglect, right? We just haven't focused on it. So many things going on in the world. We oftentimes spend so much time focused on crisis and problems, and they deserve attention, that sometimes we don't spend enough time focused on exciting new opportunities. And that's what exists here now, an exciting new opportunity in which the national interests of our respective countries are aligned. We can work on bilateral basis, but also on a regional basis with the United States, and I'm excited to be a part of it and to be the Secretary of State and the National Security Advisor and the Archivist at this key moment in our nation's history with each of you. So I intend to do everything I can from the diplomatic standpoint. I intend to do everything I can from my office at the White House, and I intend to make sure we keep really good records on all of this for the archives. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you.